with Newcastle United officially converting into the richest club in the world after the Saudi Public Investment Fund ended Mike Ashley's 14-year ownership. Here are 5 clubs that drastically changed the club's ambitions with their takeovers. Number 5. Chelsea. Abramovich is the owner of one of the most well-known football clubs in the world. Chelsea hasn't looked back since the Russian billionaire took over the West London team in 2003. During his first summer with the club, the Blues went on a shopping binge, and he had an immediate impression. They added striker Hernan Crespo, French midfielder Claudia Makelele, Irish winger Damien Duff, and Argentinian midfielder Juan Sebastian Varane to their ranks. A total of 20 players were signed for a collective fee of £150 million. This was a turning point in Abramovich's reign. The Abramovich takeover signaled the start of a new era in football. His degree of investment was very high. During the Abramovich era, the Blues have won 17 major trophies, including 5 Premier League titles and 3 European Cups. Frank Lampard, John Terry and Didier Drogba are just a few of the club icons that have emerged in recent years. The only minor issue has been Abramovich's impatience with managers. Since the takeover, Chelsea has had 15 managers in less than 18 years. Few managers have survived longer than 2 seasons. Even club legend Frank Lampard was fired back in January after only 18 months on the job. Number 4. Manchester City. Manchester City have always been a rather harmless club prior to 2008. Even though they had experienced some success in the past, they were always overshadowed by their rivals, Manchester United. They were in League One as recently as 1999 before returning to the Premier League after back-to-back promotions. After another relegation and an immediate promotion, they established themselves as a regular mid-table squad in the Premier League. When the Abu Dhabi United Group, founded by royal billionaire Sheikh Mansour, completed their ownership of Manchester City in 2008, everything changed. City had stepped into a new era. The investment that followed was massive. During his first 2 years at the club, Sheikh Mansour invested more than £500 million. Robinho, a marquee signing from Real Madrid, came for a club record of £32.5 million. The spending spree, however, did not end there. Wayne Bridge, Craig Bellamy, Nigel de Jong and Roque Santa Cruz were among the newcomers. City spent almost £120 million on players in 2010. David Silva and Yaya Toure were brought in, followed by Sergio Aguero for £38 million the following year. Manchester City has enjoyed a run of success similar to Chelsea under Roman Abramovich as a result of this deal. Sheikh Mansour's club has had tremendous success, winning 16 major trophies in total, including 5 Premier League titles. The majority of their success has come under the guidance of current manager Pep Guardiola, who has led the citizens to numerous record-breaking seasons. In 2018, for example, he set a new record with a 100-point season, and in 2019, he completed a domestic triple. Man City's lack of European Cup is the lone stain on his resume. Man City's tale is proof that money can buy happiness in sports, having successfully fought off many claims of financial fair play violations. This is one of the most significant takeovers in football history. Number 3. Paris Saint-Germain. PSG hasn't been part of the top group of mega-rich teams for long, which feels funny to say now. They admittedly enjoyed pretty solid financial backing in their early days due to their status as the sole professional team in the French capital, having only been created in 1970. In the 1990s, they experienced a golden age, winning a league title, 3 Coupe de France titles, and their first European trophy, the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. However, they did not join the exclusive group of the world's wealthiest clubs until 2011. In the summer of 2011, Qatar Sports Investments, led by Qatari monarch Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, purchased a 70% ownership in PSG, and football was never the same. Paris Saint-Germain spent £200 million in transfers in the first year after the takeover. Javier Pastore, the future captain Thiago Silva, and global superstar Zlatan Ibrahimovic were among the big money signings. On a free transfer, David Beckham was also brought in, enhancing the club's global brand. PSG won the French League in 2013 after this spending spree, ending a 19-year drought for a title. As a result, they began a reign of domination in French football. Their standing as one of Europe's modern-day heavyweights was formally established and has remained so ever since. PSG has proven to be a financial powerhouse in the football world by buying Barcelona star Neymar for a world record sum of £222 million. In the same year, they paid £166 million for French sensation Kylian Mbappe. Such financial clout raises concerns about the morality of such investments, which don't exactly suggest an equal playing field. Mega-rich clubs are beginning to pull away from the pack, owing to the fact that lesser clubs simply cannot compete with their financial resources. However, for PSG supporters, like for Chelsea and Man City supporters before them, this investment is paid off handsomely. With so many major titles, the French team will be hoping to complete their trophy cabinet by collecting the elusive Champions League trophy. Once they do, they will not care how they got there. Qatar Sports Investment can undoubtedly boast of having completed one of the most significant takeovers in football history. Number 2. Anji Makachkala. Not every major football takeover is successful. The story of Anji Makachkala should serve as a cautionary tale to those hoping for a wealthy benefactor to invest heavily into their team. The Russian club, which was formed back in 1991, has suffered from the billionaire owner's instability and bankruptcy. What had appeared to be a dream takeover quickly devolved into a full-fledged nightmare. It all began in a manner that appeared to be identical to the aforementioned situations. Suleiman Kerimov, a successful Russian businessman, took over the club in January of 2011 and immediately began spending. For £20 million, striker Samuel Eto'o, one of Europe's top names at the time, was brought in. His contract made him the highest paid footballer on the planet. In order to raise their international profile, they also signed Roberto Carlos, a 37-year-old World Cup winning left-back. The next two transfer windows saw a flurry of transactions, including the £31 million signing of highly rated Brazilian forward Willian for a total of about £140 million. The investment, however, came to an abrupt halt in 2013. Anji Makachkala finished third in the league and lost to CSKA Moscow in the Russian Cup final. The club declared that they will be lowering their budget and selling some of its best players. Kerimov was no longer willing to put money into a project that had failed to yield rapid results. Eto'o and Willian were both sold to Chelsea in the Premier League, bringing an end to a brief spell. Anji has had quite a fall from glory since this footballing rollercoaster. The club finished last in the league the season after Kerimov terminated his investment proposal, winning only 3 games. As a result, they were relegated to Russia's second division, the Russian Football National League. They have been relegated 3 times from the Russian Premier League since their takeover in 2011. To this day, they are still in the second tier. Football fans all over the world will be left wondering what may have happened if the investment had not failed. Despite its disastrous conclusion, this is still one of the most significant takeovers in football history. Number 1. Manchester United. Manchester United's circumstance is unlike any of the preceding scenarios. Before the Glazer family took possession, The Reds had already had a long run of success in the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson, becoming one of the world's most powerful clubs. Instead of an ultra-wealthy saviour rescuing the club from oblivion, the Glazers were just taking advantage of a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. After buying out the minority shareholders, the Glazers officially took over Manchester United in the summer of 2005. The majority of United supporters were outraged by the takeover, viewing the owners as selfish and exploitative, and staging rallies to express their unhappiness with the decision. Several disgruntled fans even formed their own club, FC United of Manchester, which currently competes in England's 7th tier. To fund the takeover, the Glazers had taken out large loans, putting the club in debt. Despite the fact that the club is immensely profitable due to its global reputation and commercial success, it is nevertheless in debt. The club is alleged to have spent £1.5 billion on interest, debt, and other expenses as a result of the ownership. Following the takeover, however, things on the Red side of Manchester were not all awful. Their success continued under Sir Alex Ferguson's leadership, despite growing competition from the new affluent Chelsea and Manchester City. Between the Glazer acquisition in 2005 and Ferguson's departure in 2013, they won 5 more Premier League titles, bringing their total to a record 20. Trophies have been a little harder to come by without the leadership of Ferguson. In the 7 seasons since his departure, they have won the Europa League, League Cup and FA Cup. For some clubs, this would be considered a win, but Manchester United has high expectations. This isn't entirely down to the Glazers' efforts, since the club continues to spend. In 2016, for example, they shattered the transfer record by bringing back Paul Pogba, a former youth team player from Juventus. They've made a series of high-profile signings which have led to sizable wage bills. For example, this includes the signing of Alexis Sanchez, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo, Varane, and many more. It would be hard to argue that money has been tight. Despite this, Manchester United supporters continue to oppose Glazers' ownership to this day. The takeover's mountains of debt, combined with a lack of communication between the board and supporters, has resulted in a strained relationship between the two. Rather than investing in the club, the owners have preferred to assure profits. This is one situation to consider while weighing the pros and downsides of a takeover. Despite the fact that this takeover was of a significantly different character, it is undoubtedly a fascinating case study. This is one of a kind situation due to the size of the club and the amount of money required to secure its purchase. As a result, it is unquestionably one of the most significant takeovers in football history. So what do you guys think? Do you think that with the recent takeover of Newcastle United, they will become as successful as Man City, Chelsea or PSG? Or will they face a downfall like the Russian club Anzhi Makachkala? Comment your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.